You missed some important news from the LGBTQ+ community this week. To ensure you are current, we are recapping that important news. Here's what you may have missed.
Florida has statewide student walkout to protest Desantis and GOP censorship.
High school students in Fort Myers walked out of class Friday as part of protests against the bill to overhaul higher education in Florida. College students in Orlando also took part.
There is a right and there is a wrong, and right now the state of Florida is wrong!
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis' proposal includes eliminating diversity programs, banning gender studies majors, and weakening tenure protection for professors.
They're not going to be able to learn history. Being able to learn history is so important so that we don't repeat it.
But DeSantis isn't backing down. He says diversity, equity, and inclusion is really about imposing an ideological agenda on students.
DEI more appropriately stands for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination, and that has no place in our public institutions.
On Friday, April 21st, hundreds of Florida high school and college students walked out of classrooms to protest Governor Ron DeSantis and his education policies. The 24-hour action, also called Walk Out to Learn, called for students to walk out of their schools, register to vote, or check their voter registration status, take part in a brief lesson on banned policies, and enroll in a virtual, college-level course in African American history. Rallies and speeches were also scheduled across the Sunshine State, from Jacksonville and Orlando to Sarasota and Miami. Youth activists mobilized the Social Equity Through Education Alliance, said the movement of its defiance and proposed and passed state legislation that restricts lessons and discussions about race and LGBTQ history. Walk Out to Learn's website said, quote, "Black, queer, trans, and female-identifying people and their histories are the target of government censorship. Our government has forgotten that students have rights. We're here to remind him," end quote. Friday's movement was crucial in building and achieving short-term goals that will lead to long-term results. On April 19th, Governor DeSantis expanded Florida's controversial Don't Say Gay law, which bans all teachings and discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity up to 3rd grade. This new expansion prohibits instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity past 12th grade.
Oklahoma preacher threatened with jail after LGBTQ+ rights group gets restraining order. An outspoken street preacher is appealing to the Oklahoma Supreme Court after he was slapped with a 5-year restraining order that his attorneys say threatens him with jail time if he violates the order by speaking out against a local LGBTQ advocacy group. Rich Penkoski, a pastor who leads up the online organization Warriors for Christ and has protested drag shows for children nationwide, told Fox News Digital that he believes the restraining order is unconstitutional and could herald a legal precedent that could chill the speech of Christians and others. Penkoski said he was invited by a church in Bartlesville, Oklahoma to preach outside a local pride event last fall after other local churches failed to speak out against it. Penkoski also posted a public photo of the same-sex wedding of Sheena Hayes and Morgan Lawrence Hayes, who is the executive board president of the Bartlesville chapter of Oklahomans for Equality. In his post, Penkoski referenced Bible verses condemning homosexuality, including Romans 1:32 and Matthew 18:6. In a police report filed by an officer with ties to Oklahomans for Equality in Bartlesville, the couple felt directly threatened and harassed by Penkoski's social media posts and sought a restraining order.
Lizzo defies Tennessee drag ban with iconic RuPaul's Drag Race queens. Despite being advised by fans to cancel her Tennessee show due to the state's oppressive anti-drag law, which bans adult cabaret entertainment in public spaces and where it might be seen by minors, Lizzo instead brought drag performers, including RuPaul's Drag Race alumni, on stage. Taking to Instagram on Saturday, April 22nd, the About Damn Time singer proudly shared a range of moments from the night's colorful performance at her Knoxville show as part of the tour for her fourth studio album, Special. Iconic Drag Race stars, including Season 11's Vanessa Miss Vanjie Mateo, Season 10's Asia O'Hara, Season 10 winner Aquaria, and Season 13 runner-up Candy Muse, who has joined the cast of the upcoming All-Stars Season 8. Joined Lizzo on stage along with a whole host of local drag queens. The singer, who dazzled in a glittering green sequin jumpsuit that gave major regal vibes, also gave a powerful speech saying that she was told by people on the internet to cancel the shows in Tennessee. They had valid reasons, but she wanted to go to the people who needed to feel this release the most. A fan who attended the show praised Lizzo's decision and said that bringing the drag queens out was, quote, one of the best parts of the night, end quote.
Let's Queer Up Road to Stonewall. Republican mayor breaks tie to allow gay pride in Tennessee town.
Vice Mayor? No. Alderman Blanton? Yes.
The aldermen were split, and the tie-breaking vote...
I'm going to vote to approve the event.
...was Mayor Ken Moore.
So if I look at what we asked the pride applicants to do, they did what was asked of them.
There you go. Profiling courage. A city in Tennessee, a state at the forefront of anti-LGBTQ plus laws, has been roiled by plans to hold a pride celebration in June. But with the backing of the town's Republican mayor, the event will go forward after a contentious battle with city leaders. The Franklin Board of Aldermen had been tied 4-4 until Franklin Mayor Ken Moore voted to allow the Franklin Pride Event Festival to proceed. A battle between organizers and critics had been brewing for weeks, and we at Queer News Tonight have been covering this news since the beginning. Moore says the festival at Hollinsdale Park can take place under the First Amendment.
Before today's drag attacks, the straight world loved Barry Humphries, Dame Edna, a life well lived.
Sad news this morning.
Oh.
Famous tagline, hello possums.
Oh.
Some very sad news today. Australian comedian Barry Humphries, best known for his comedic character, Dame Edna, has unfortunately died. Dame Edna became a star in the 70s in the UK, known for her quick wit and boundary-pushing comedy.
You're looking wonderful. You're ageless.
Well, I'm trying to be ageless, and I've had a little work done, but
have you?
Not quite as much as some.
Your hair color is stunning. Your hair color is breathtaking. Is that a natural hair color?
It is my natural.
Is it really?
You preempted what I was about to say in such a lovely way.
Oh, yes.
It is my natural hair color.
Oh, wow.
I was born with this lovely mauve hair, viewers. I'm the only woman actually on the planet with a purple bikini line.
Wow, that's
She goes into supermarkets, she just takes things, she stuffs them down her pantyhose. I said to one of my minders, I said, follow that girl and pay for whatever she's got in her pantyhose. He said, she charges for that, does she?
He spent several days in the hospital in Sydney leading up to his death. He underwent hip surgery and began suffering from health complications shortly after. The character of Dame Edna was used to satirize the cult of celebrity, political leaders, and was used to poke fun at fashion of the time.
Australian comedian and actor Barry Humphries, who is best known as his drag alter ego Dame Edna Everage, has died aged 89. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also gave tribute to him on Twitter. Humphries died at a Sydney hospital after being readmitted following surgery on his hip last month, according to the New York Times. The drag artist had her own mock celebrity broadcast talk show on NBC in the early 1990s called Dame Edna's Hollywood. Humphries was also a mainstay on actual talk shows as well. Humphries was born in Melbourne, Australia in 1934. He crafted housewife Edna Everage in 1955 for satire. The persona became huge after Humphries began appearing on British television as her. In the 1960s, before Edna's rise to stardom, Humphries appeared in several West End and Broadway productions. Edna was best known for her catchphrase, "Hello, possums," and her lavender-colored hair and rhinestone glasses. Humphreys wrote several books, novels, autobiographies, and plays, and painted. In 2022, Humphreys toured the UK for The Man Behind the Mask, outside the character. Humphreys was also a controversial figure. In 2003, in an advice column for Vanity Fair, he replied to a reader's question about learning Spanish with, quote, "Who speaks it that you are really that desperate to talk to?" End quote. Selma Hayek led a backlash against the racist comments.
Keep watching the only television news in the world from our LGBTQ plus community and stay informed on everything that is important for and about our diverse LGBTQ plus community.